Hello, good morning and welcome back to the FishLocker out on the boat. James and I, my best boy and I, are out to go and check our pots.
Yeah.
How many days have we got till Christmas?
2!
2 days! 2 days till Christmas! It's exciting!
Yes!
Yeah, you wouldn't believe it though. We have got a stunning day for almost the end of December. It's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah!
So yeah, we're out to go and check our pots. I only left 3 pots out because the weather usually is terrible.
Yeah!
So we're going to sneak out and go and check them.
Yeah!
Wish us luck!
Yeah!
Let's go!
Yes!
People have asked me, so I'm going to show you in this clip how I go about picking up the pots. The main thing to consider at all times is safety. You can see there in the distance the can floating on the surface which is attached to the pots. The first thing I'll do is I'll assess the situation to see which is the safest direction to be able to approach. In this case I'm going to circle round and approach with my head into the wind and to the waves with my back towards the shore. That way if anything goes wrong I can just steam straight away from the shore. Missed it. Try again, John. There a second because it's what have we got? All ocean, right? Next one, come on. Big effort, yeah, you're right, James, big effort. Right, let's get out of here. Right. Got first pot. We'll deal with this one first because it's got, what has it got in it, James? Bullhuss. Oh, it's a heavy one. There's one. There's 2, a little one. Some sugar kelp. Yeah, this guy's plenty aggressive, isn't he? Now, this fella, yeah, it is a fella, this little guy, at some point in time, these, whatever else is in here has been picking on him. Because look, there's part of his claw that they've snapped off and been eating. Yeah, a little lobster. Undersized male edible crab. Another male, but just undersized. Nice but undersized. What else we got in here? Oh, we've got 2 lovely lobsters in this one. And a big crab as well. Oh. Oh, look. That one is full of eggs. That's a buried hen. And I think she's had a V-notch in her. I think that's been V-notched, but it's been mutilated. We'll stick her aside really gently and put her in a bucket. Yeah, I'll show you more about her in a second. Seaweed, seaweed, big old cock crab. He's a rare one, isn't he? What are you saying, James? Yes, you can. Get up, put your sandwiches down, come have a look. Yeah, that's a nice crab, that. Stick him in that tub there. And in the back of here, along with more seaweeds, oh, that's a nice male. That is a massive lobster. That's a keeper. That's a keeper for sure. Brilliant. So we'll stick him in this barrel. That is the anchor from a furbelows kelp. More kelp.
Even more kelp.
A little edible crab. Come on, let go.
Let go.
A little male edible crab. Another. I will put a picture into here from one of our diving videos showing you what these look like, but they're massive. This is the anchor ball at the bottom of it. This time of year, with all the bad weather that we've been having, all of these have got ripped up, so the beaches are absolutely full of them. Another male. Ooh. I put him at being just undersized. I'm not going to bother measuring him, he's under, he's too small. It needs to be 90 millimetres from the back of the eye to the back of the carapace. I know, across my four fingers there is 92 mil. So I know if it's bigger than that, it's definitely oversized. If it's the same size, it's worth measuring. This one is just under, so I wouldn't even bother. And finally, a little hen crab. A little female edible crab. Oh. Tell you what, considering it was only 3 pots and it's the middle of winter, well, it's the middle of December, it's Christmas in a couple of days, isn't it, James?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, these pots have done really well. I don't know if you saw where I was picking them up from, but we were right in the rocks there. These had actually been shot like 200 yards outside of where I picked them up. And all the bad weather that we've had, I'll show you what the weather was like. That platform there on the rocks is where James and I were stood in that bad weather clip. So that is roughly where my pots were. Yeah, all this bad weather that we've had has actually picked my pots up and had moved them 200 yards closer to the rocks. So I had to time it right just to get them back. I come back just on low water slack, so there was next to now, there was still a little bit of residual swell going on. There was no tide. I picked them all up at low tide, so it was the least depth of water to pull them up in. And as soon as I'd got them, run back away from the rocks. I'm going to do a little bit of a jog down there, and I'll show you rebaiting these pots, and then we'll shoot them back. And then finally, we'll have a look at that lobster, because she has been V-notched before. and I think what's probably happened is she's shed part of her shell. These are two different types of pots. These two have got a little bait bag in them. So all I need to do there is you just open that up and stuff the bait into the bag. The bag inside of there. This top entry pot here, this is different. This has got elasticated bands on the side of here, like that. So you have to slide the bait up and it sticks to the inside of there. The way that this works is, I'll use this crab. The crab will smell the bait on the inside, he'll climb up the pot, try to go in there, drop in, and can't climb back out because it's smooth on the sides. And the bait on the outside of there, they can't reach it. So what they end up doing is inside the pot, they drop into here, they crawl around and try and find a way out. They can't find a way out of there, they just find this here, which is called the parlour. They crawl into there and they end up trapped in the back of there, which is why when I pulled it up, everything that was in this pot was all in the back of there, all in the parlour. That's called a top entry parlour pot. These ones don't have parlours, they just have two entries, one in either side. The baits that I'm using is all just scad. This is horse mackerel. I caught a load of these, I caught probably like 60 of them. And all I've done is I've just put them in a barrel with a load of rock salt to preserve them, because the bait lasts longer. If you put fresh scad in, you put fresh mackerel in, all that happens is it just turns to mush, and all the little prawns and shrimps and everything go in there and eat everything. And also fresh bait will get you more fish, it'll get you more dogfish and more bullhuss and more conger eels. I don't want them, I want lobsters and crabs. The only issue with that is, how smelly is that bait, James? So smelly. The bait stinks. I'll get them all rebaited and we'll shot them back. Clean down time now. Got two cracking keepers here. Stunning gate crop crab and a lovely lobster. You can't complain of that, can you? He's a beauty. He's an absolute beauty, that one. Believe it or not, but in a fight, he would win over this one. The crab would kill him. And the reason being simply is that the crab is better defensive. It's better better defensive. His shell is harder than this guy. This guy's shell, even though it is tough, nowhere near as hard as a crab shell. Up you get. You know what these are, don't you?
Yeah.
Vino chin clippers. This absolutely stunning lobster in here. Are you going to tell me a little bit about lobsters when they're having babies? Because you know, don't you?
Yeah. If they like have black,
oh, calm down, calm.
spots on them, do not keep them.
Yeah. Where do they keep their eggs?
Underneath their tails.
Underneath their tails, yes, you are right. This is a female lobster, this is a buried lobster. It's a female that is carrying lots of eggs. Now they can carry up to 20,000 eggs. The bigger the female, the more eggs. Also, the bigger the female, the bigger the eggs, so the more viable. So big healthy female like this is a prime breeding stock female. And she's covered in little keel worms. Can you see all these little white worms on her?
There's still worms on the big crabs
There is keelworms on a big crab. There's two different types of keelworms on her. The long ones are just normal keelworms, but the little tiny ones are like a little ammonite, like a little Danish pastry. Those are called sporobis. Two different types of claws. Crushing claw, cutting claw. Now those are different sizes. She has lost this cutter at some point in time and has been growing it back. But two things I'll talk about. The eggs. The eggs come in 3 stages. They start off green, then they go black, then they go red and black when they're just about to hatch. Now these underneath here are red and black. You see, look, you see how they're 2 different colours?
Yeah.
I don't know how well the camera's going to pick up on that. Before I let her go, I'll do a little bit of a video on my phone to be able to show you close up. But yeah, those eggs are red and black, so these are just about to hatch. What we have around the UK and in other parts of the world is something called a V-notching scheme, and that being that you cut a V into the tail of a proven breeding lobster. Now the V is just one of them. It's just a perfect little V. And you cut it into one of the two tail flaps just off centre. Now she has been V-notched before, but part of that tail flap has been damaged. It's what's called a mutilated tail. It doesn't mean that somebody has done it, it just means that it's mutilated in such a way that it could obscure a V-notch. Now this one here, if I can just show you really gently, there, on this flap, she has been V-notched before, and the tail fan's just broken off. A V-notch will either be in this one here or this one here. So she's been notched in there, and it's probably when she shed her shell, it's got stuck and she's just shed off part of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick another V-notch in her on this side.
Can I keep the V from her shell?
If you really want to. Now these V-notches, they will grow eventually when she sheds her shell, but it'll take 2 or 3 sheds, in which time she will have had a chance to breed 2 or 3 more times. So you're talking, if it's 10,000, cut it an average, if it's 10,000 eggs each time, that means that over 3 seasons she's managed to put 30,000 eggs into the sea. That's why they do the V-notch. I'm going to take a couple of quick photos in the video, and then I'm going to show you the V-notch real quick, and then we'll move away from all these pots and we'll find somewhere secure to go and drop her off. You keep an eye on her for a second?
Yeah.
Good lad.
She's okay.
She's okay, good lad. Those eggs there. That's what's called red and black. You see it's 2 different colours.
Red and black.
Red and black.
This is what
Those are the little sporobis,
red and black.
and that there is where it's called the mutilated tail.
Never ever do the middle.
No, you're right. Why don't you ever do the middle?
Because it can hurt the lobster.
Yes. James is absolutely right. I was just showing to the other camera, this middle here, James has just said never ever V-notch the middle, and you are absolutely right.
Yep.
Do not V-notch the middle. Its nervous system's not like we would consider it being a central nervous system, one spinal cord. It's made up of 12 ganglia all over its body, but it's vital. The centre one is vital. Also, its backside, its poop comes out of the centre. If you snip over that, you can cause damage to its digestive system. So yes, never ever V-notch the middle one. She is being very well behaved, isn't she?
Yep.
Just get a little. She is very patient. And V-notching, all you need to do
Is
is just take your clippers.
Can you do the small ones as well?
Which small ones?
The ones on the ends.
No,
Why?
it's just that one or that one. So you see that's a perfect little V-notch in there now. Right. Keep her. Yeah. What she will do is, people worried about the eggs, they use an enzyme to keep them stuck to themselves. Now 1 or 2 of them, like the eggs, we have got 2 that have dropped off here. I don't know if you can see it. There, look. 2 of them have dropped off. Considering that now she's protected for 3 years, I will take that, I'll take 2. but she uses an enzyme to keep them stuck to her body. When she's ready to release them, when she knows that they're viable to be released, she releases another enzyme and lets them go. So don't worry about them falling off. They won't fall off. They can get rubbed off when she flaps her tail or it rubs against something. One or two of them can get pulled off, but they don't fall off. You know, they're stuck to it.
Like berries.
Yes, like berries on a bush.
And apples.
Yes.
They fall off when they're just ready.
They do, yeah, you're right. Let's go and find her somewhere to put her back. Right, there's no pots around here. Let's let her go, eh? You gonna look over the side? You gonna swim off, are you?
Dad,
Yeah?
what should we call her?
I don't know, whatever you want to call her. See you later.
Lucky. Lucky will be good.
Yeah, Lucky would be a good name for her, because she has been very lucky today, hasn't she? James has a little souvenir, don't you?
Yeah.
That is the V-notch that we cut out of her. Let's go!
Yeah.
James and I have got the lobster and crab back at the house, haven't we?
Yeah.
And here they are.
Stop fighting with each other.
Yeah, you have to be careful. You can't put them too close to each other. You can see there, look, I've turned his back on him because they will fight with each other. I have these, they're strong but they're slow, whereas these claws, these are fast. So I've put bands on these. Yeah. All I did was just stored them in a shelf in the bottom of the fridge and we're cooking them today. What we are planning on doing, James and I are wearing our FishLocker lobster shirts, aren't we?
This one's hugging me because I have not weared it in a while.
It's hugging you, it's because he's been missing you.
Yeah.
Right. I have shown the cooking of crabs and lobsters in loads of videos before. It's really simple. If I was on the beach, I would be using clean seawater. As I'm in the house, I'm going to be using fresh water, but I'm going to add a bit of salt to it. All you do is get a pan of boiling water, proper boiling water, dispatch the crab and lobster, put them in. When the water comes back up to a rolling boil, 2 more minutes after that, and it's done. And while that's going on, James and I are going to cut and cook some homemade chips. So we're going to have lobster and crab and chips. Yeah. Now, I'm going to cook them in 2 separate pans. You can cook more than one crab or more than one lobster in the same pan if they are the same size. If one was bigger than the other, the smaller one would cook quicker. So I'm going to cook them in separate pans. Yeah. You ready?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Those are some good looking chips.
Yeah.
Good job.
And this will be cut.
Yeah, if you want. There you see, look. That is a proper rolling boil. See, a fierce rolling boil. Both of these pans are. That's what I mean by a proper rolling boil. They're ready for the crab and lobster to go in. I'm going to dispatch them and get them in the pan. They're both back up to the rolling boil now. 2 more minutes and they're off. Oh, lots of steam.
That's a cracking lobster there, isn't it?
That is a cracking lobster, you're right, you're absolutely right. What you need to do,
Yeah.
is you need to cool it down. Because it's been cooking in the hot water. You need to cool it, good lad, thank you. Yeah, I'm running that under cold water so that it cools it down. Because it cools it down because it still holds a little bit of heat in its shell, that's still hot. And if you didn't cool it down with cold water, it would continue to cook.
And your mouth will catch on fire. Let's see the crab. That's a very orangey crab.
It is.
Compared to the lobster, it's red, and to the crab, it's orange.
Yeah, it is. What I'm going to do now is we'll put them both in the big sink.
But they're dead, so they won't fight.
You are right, they won't fight now because they're dead, aren't they?
Yep.
Put them both in here. I want a bit of cold water on them.
I'll warn you when it overflows.
You are right. What was it? That's red and that's orange, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's just got a tiny bit of heat left in him. Although my cameraman has done a fantastic job, it's going to take a bit of time for me to pick the crab and to break down the lobster into pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tag into the video other videos where I've shown the slow time dressing of crab and lobster. And all we'll do is we'll bring you back when the chips are finished and we're going to sit down to eat. We are finished. Now the chips in the air fryer took 25 minutes. They've just beeped off a second ago, so it took me around 20 minutes to pick all that. So we have the picked lobster. There's the claws and tail and all the knuckles. What's in here, James?
Crab.
Picked crab. James's home cut cooked chips. Yes. And I've kept all of the shells as well, just in case we want to make a bisque. So are you going to dish up for us?
Yeah.
Okay then, you dish up away. I hope you enjoyed joining us. I hope you found it interesting. All the very best. See you later.
Bye.